Genesis, a blueprint for wealth, business, and financial success. The book of Genesis is often viewed as a spiritual and historical text, yet within its verses lies a powerful blueprint for business, wealth creation, and financial success. From the very act of creation to the strategic decisions of figures like Abraham, Joseph, and Jacob, Genesis reveals foundational economic principles that, when applied, lead to prosperity. Creation as the foundation of wealth. Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 begins with, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." The very first action recorded in the Bible is an act of creation. This sets a fundamental precedent. Wealth begins with the ability to create. In business, this translates to innovation and value creation. Every successful enterprise, whether a tech startup, a real estate empire, or a small business, starts with the ability to bring something new into existence. Entrepreneurs, like God in Genesis, must take ideas from vision to reality, transforming raw materials, skills, or insights into products and services that meet needs. This principle also applies to personal wealth. Those who create opportunities, solutions, and systems generate financial success. Passive consumption does not build wealth, creation does. Work and stewardship. The role of responsibility in wealth accumulation. Genesis chapter 2 verse 15 states, "The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it." Even in paradise, before sin entered the world, work was part of God's design. Adam was not simply placed in a land of abundance. He was given a responsibility to cultivate and manage resources. This principle remains unchanged today. Financial success requires diligent work and effective stewardship. In business, this means actively managing resources, whether time, money, or people. In personal finance, it means budgeting, investing, and making wise decisions. Many people desire wealth but neglect the principle of stewardship. Without proper management, even the greatest financial opportunities can be squandered. Initiative and resourcefulness. The entrepreneurial mindset of Noah. When God commanded Noah to build the ark, Genesis chapter 6 verse 14, there was no pre-built structure, no divine hand dropping materials from the sky. Noah had to source his own materials, organize labor, and construct the ark according to precise specifications. This mirrors the reality of business. Success does not come fully formed. It is built through initiative and resourcefulness. Entrepreneurs must take available resources, no matter how limited, and turn them into something valuable. Noah's obedience despite uncertainty mirrors the entrepreneur's journey, investing in a vision before seeing results. His ability to follow a divine plan demonstrates the importance of structure, planning, and execution in any successful enterprise. Faith and risk-taking. The wealth-building journey of Abraham. Genesis chapter 12 verse 1 to 2 states, "The Lord had said to Abram, Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you." Abraham was called to leave everything familiar and venture into the unknown. This is a crucial principle in wealth building. Prosperity often requires stepping out of comfort zones. Investors must be willing to take calculated risks. Business owners must seize opportunities that may not guarantee immediate success but have long-term potential. Employees seeking financial growth must be willing to learn new skills and adapt. Abraham's obedience was not blind. It was a strategic move based on trust in principles greater than himself. Those who accumulate wealth understand that financial growth is often linked to calculated risks and strategic positioning. Economic planning and financial wisdom. Joseph's mastery of wealth management. Perhaps no figure in Genesis exemplifies economic wisdom better than Joseph. His rise from slavery to second in command in Egypt was not accidental. It was built on his ability to interpret economic trends and manage resources. Genesis chapter 41 verse 34 to 36 describes Joseph's economic strategy. Let Pharaoh appoint commissioners over the land to take a fifth of the harvest of Egypt during the 7 years of abundance. They should collect all the food of these good years that are coming and store up the grain under the authority of Pharaoh. Joseph understood key financial principles. Savings and investment. He set aside surplus during good years to sustain Egypt during famine. Similarly, individuals must save and invest wisely to prepare for future financial downturns. Economic cycles. Just as Joseph recognized the pattern of 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine, successful investors and business owners study economic trends to make informed decisions. Crisis management. Because of Joseph's foresight, Egypt became the economic superpower of its time, controlling food distribution during global scarcity. Businesses and individuals who prepare for financial uncertainties position themselves for stability and influence. Negotiation, strategy, and wealth multiplication. The business mind of Jacob. Jacob's story in Genesis chapter 30 verse 25 to 43 reveals another key business principle: strategic wealth accumulation. Working for Laban, Jacob negotiated a deal that allowed him to build his own wealth while still fulfilling his employer's needs. Rather than relying solely on wages, Jacob implemented a breeding strategy to increase his share of livestock. His success came not just from hard work but from understanding market dynamics, genetics, and contractual agreements. Key lessons from Jacob's approach. Negotiation skills. Wealth is often built through strategic agreements and partnerships, not just labor. Innovation. Jacob's breeding method showed creativity in leveraging natural resources for maximum gain. Asset ownership. Instead of working indefinitely for wages, Jacob ensured he acquired assets that generated long-term wealth. Vision and legacy. The ultimate purpose of wealth. Genesis does not just teach how to acquire wealth, it emphasizes why wealth matters. God's blessings to Abraham, Joseph, and Jacob were not just personal, they extended to generations. True wealth is not about short-term gain but about building something that lasts. Entrepreneurs must think beyond immediate profits and consider long-term impact. Investors should focus on wealth that outlives them, ensuring sustainability. Families should prioritize generational financial education, ensuring that wealth is preserved and multiplied. How do we apply Genesis principles to modern wealth building? Genesis is more than an ancient text. It is a manual for financial success. From creation and stewardship to economic planning and negotiation, the principles within its pages offer timeless wisdom for anyone seeking to build wealth. Create something of value. Work diligently and manage resources wisely. Take initiative and use available resources effectively. Embrace risk when aligned with a strategic vision. Plan for the future and manage financial cycles. Negotiate wisely and seek ownership over mere wages. Build wealth with a purpose, ensuring long-term impact. The question is not whether these principles work. The question is whether we are willing to apply them.